What's good? It's your boy Fanon. All right, we are a week out from the number one pound for pound fighter in the world, Terence Crawford, along with Canelo Alvarez in my opinion, but the number one pound for pound fighter in the world, Terence Bud Crawford against Amir Khan. Looking forward to it. Looking forward to buying the pay-per-view. Definitely going to support Terence Crawford and Amir Khan in this fight. And it's going to be interesting. And listening to and reading the media leading up to this fight, man, ran into something that Bob Arum said that I thought was interesting because it echoes something that some other people had said. And I'm going to go through that. And basically what he says is that Amir Khan and Terence Crawford are pretty evenly matched as far as it goes, as far as the technical boxing goes, and that Terence Crawford needs to find a way to get Amir Khan out of there. Otherwise, he might lose a boxing match. And that's a pretty serious statement there. And one that I think is, I'll be interested to see if it's true. Now, before I go into that conversation though, I want to welcome you back to the channel. If you are subscribed, thank you so much for your support in the supporting the channel. If you're not subscribed, hit the subscription bell and subscription icon, and then, or the subscription button, and then hit the bell icon so you can be notified of when we release more videos. Also, check out the live streams we do Monday through Friday. Start time 10:45 a.m. to 11 a.m. is around the time we start. Also, check out the new series we have on Sunday mornings at 8 a.m. Central Standard Time, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, OG Boxing Talk with myself and Blood Boxing, KC Boxing, where we talk about historical boxing topics, the fights that took place on Saturday night, all those good things. Enjoy, join us on Sunday mornings, and also check out the Patreon. We're going to have some more uploads on the Patreon today. All right, so let's go through what Bob Arum has to say. He says, Khan is training really diligently from all the reports that we get. He has been super confident with Hunter, and it's going to be very, very interesting because Khan is an elite boxer technically. And Crawford is not one to be shown up by him as far as his boxing ability. And therefore, Crawford will engage in a boxing contest, in my opinion, with Amir Khan. That is not Crawford's strength in an Amir Khan fight because Crawford really has to look to see if he can bang this guy out. Because if Khan gets into a boxing contest with Crawford and it remains a boxing contest for 12 rounds, Khan has a shot to eke the thing out. He continues, Khan is a great, great boxer. Technically, he's great. He has one weakness which everybody knows, and that is he doesn't have the greatest chin in the world. So if you're going to box the guy, you're not going to take him out, then you're sort of playing, evening the playing field. It's going to be an intriguing fight. I really believe in my heart of hearts that it will be one winner, Crawford, but it's an intriguing fight. Now, this is something that I've heard before about the fact that Amir Khan has an ability to cause Terence Crawford a lot of problems in a boxing match. And looking back on a fight that took place a couple weeks ago with Errol Spence Jr. versus Mikey Garcia, I think it showed a little bit of the dynamic that Bob Arum is talking about. Leading into the Errol Spence Mikey Garcia fight, many people assumed that Mikey Garcia could outbox Errol Spence Jr. if it was just a boxing match and if there wasn't the size issue. And I thought to myself, and Errol Spence had actually said that they needed to look at the pedigree that Errol Spence Jr. had as a multiple Golden Gloves champion, as the winner of the Olympic trials, winning several matches in the Olympics. I think he got to the quarterfinals of the Olympics, and how you can't get that far in the Olympics and in amateur boxing without knowing how to box, knowing how to hit and not get hit, because that is essentially the scoring system and how, for the amateur system, hit and not get hit. So when you compared Mikey Garcia's amateur record to Errol Spence Jr.'s amateur record, obviously, I mean, if you analyzed it or just looked at it on the surface, you don't even have to look into it that deeply. You see that it is Errol Spence that had the more decorated amateur background and not Mikey Garcia. So, and then when you got to the fight actually happened, the fight really unfolded in a very, very interesting, in a way that a lot of people didn't expect, which was that the more polished and the more decorated amateur was able to outbox the guy that many people thought was the better boxer. So you apply that same thing to Amir Khan and Terence Crawford. Well, Amir Khan is the Olympic silver medalist. He's the guy that has won international amateur tournaments. I think at 17 years old, he won the Olympic silver medal. So clearly, and then if you look at the way that he's boxed in the professional, I've never really seen Amir Khan get outboxed. So I think that Bob Arum has a point there where if Terence Crawford wants to engage in a boxing match with him and just prove that he can outbox him, that might be trouble for Terence Crawford. On the other hand, though, Terence Crawford is a pretty special fighter himself, and there are some people that said that Terence Crawford had gotten robbed for when I think he lost in the finals of a Golden Gloves competition. Man, I watched that fight, and he was fighting like a professional in the amateur, right? So it was a battle where he wound up knocking the guy down 2 times and losing. I think the reason that he might have lost that, and I obviously would have to check the amateur rules at the time, but I don't think that you got any extra points for a knockdown, right? So if you didn't get any extra points for a knockdown, then hey man, because it's not judged just necessarily on round by round, it's not on a 10-point must system, it's an Olympic scoring system. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong. That could lead to a guy that really has a very professional style losing some amateur fights, similar to Mike Tyson. So where Mike Tyson didn't make it to the Olympics, but as a pro, man, he's a heck of a pro because now you take knockdowns, take away rounds. You're fighting more than 3 rounds. So, but the boxing aspect of it, that could be interesting. I remember when the fight was first announced on True Boxing Talk, Black Fight Fan TV, and 78 Sports TV were talking about it. This fight being a trap fight and it being a situation, I think that was 78 that said it could be a trap fight, where if you are, Bud Crawford, you can wind up looking bad if you don't knock him out and if it winds up being a close fight. And you know how in boxing now we're giving out these honorary victories. these moral victories in boxing. So Amir, if it goes 12 rounds, then Amir Khan is going to get he'll get a moral victory from somebody, where, you'll start saying that, crying robbery, corruption, the fight was fixed, Amir Khan won, even if no matter what happens in the fight. And with Amir Khan having that glass jaw, widely renowned glass jaw, if Terence Crawford's not able to knock him out, man, that's just going to give some naysayers fuel. So I agree with what Bob Arum is saying, that if he just tries to, go tit for tat with him and box and all that stuff, and, just try to win on points, then, hey man, that could be a problem. But I don't think that that's really Terence Crawford's personality. With the Jose Benavidez fight, he had that fight won. Getting the 12th round, the last fight with Jose Benavidez. And he was still looking for a way to get that knockout, man. It was like at the very end of the fight, he wound up hitting him with this monster uppercut and, pulling out the knockout. Terence Crawford is a fighter. I mean, he is a guy that is going to come. He's going to come throw them hands, man. He's going to try to go in there to hurt you. And that's the thing that I really like about Terence Crawford, is that he is the type of fighter that is not going in there to, he's not going in there to win on points. He's going in there to beat you up. Now, Amir Khan, on the other hand, man, if Amir Khan can find a way not to get knocked out, then, it'll be interesting to see. It's also going to be really interesting to see how ESPN's pay-per-view, how they call the fight. And whether or not they're giving they give the underdog a lot of credit just for having made it through rounds. But we'll see. Anyway, it's interesting that Bob Arum pointed that out and agreed with what some other people were saying. And we'll see what happens, man. But I'm definitely going to be buying that pay-per-view. I'm looking forward to doing it and supporting the fight. It's a good fight. It's a good fight card, too. You get to see Shakur Stevenson on that card. Teofimo Lopez, who's trying to position himself for a fight with Lomachenko. So, you know, you get a chance to check that fight out as well. See a little more of Teofimo Lopez, one of the bright upcoming stars in boxing. Shakur Stevenson as well. And that's what's up. So I'll catch you on the next video. Peace.